some tarot card unboxing. Let me get my robe really quick. I just feel like I am inappropriate for a live stream on YouTube. So I'm gonna wear my robe. But I have some Lilo and Stitch playing cards, and I want to start doing some readings with regular playing cards. Because anybody can do a reading for themselves, and it's accessible. You don't have to, you can be what I like to call ballin' on a budget. But these are freshly opened Lilo and Stitch playing cards. I got them at Five Below. I thought they were so cute. Five Below has the best playing cards. You can even do readings with an Uno deck. I've seen people do that. I actually don't know how to do an Uno deck reading. I only know a couple of them, I think. But I think I would like to learn that. So I'm christening these cards in love and gratitude and respect and honor. Actually, I feel this one immediately. Oh, I actually don't know. The Five of Leaves. So let me just take a peek, because I thought we've got leaves, flowers. Let me see. They've got flowers and leaves and pineapples. Is there a... And then another type of cute little flower. Let me see if there's a description on the box on who's what and what's who. Because we're going for pentacles, we're going for... So it's diamonds or pentacles, wands are clubs, swords are spades, and hearts are cups. There's no descriptor. Lilo and Stitch was like, you know what, make it up yourself. Super cute. So pineapples to me feels very like, I'm gonna call these hearts. I'm gonna call the pineapples hearts. I'm gonna call the leaves the pentacles. Hello. I'm gonna call these wands. And I'm gonna call these air. That's how I'm gonna read these cards. Thank you so much. I love Jesus Christ as well. I do pray to Jesus. So thank you so much for letting me know about Jesus. Christ consciousness and I are one. I pray to Jesus on the daily. So thank you. So let's just kind of see. This is the first time I've used a Lilo and Stitch. Look how cute. Look how cute. Lilo and Stitch playing cards for our reading. I have so we have the Queen of Wands here. This is Use Your Fire, but she is, oh, look how cute. She's all pink. Look how cute. Use Your Fire. Oh, you're a big fan of Stitch. I think they're so cute. Use your fire, use your voice, use your chutzpah, whatever you have to do. I'm just gonna pull 3. If anybody has a question for me, I might actually go get my tarot card deck, because I'm just getting acquainted. The King of Cups. King of Cups and Queen of Wands. So there's a cute little love story here. Let's see what the love story is all about. I feel this one. Family connections, family love. This is about the beauty of our family. And it's also with like the 10 of Cups. It is about the blessings that we receive through like the love that we give, the love that we have in our heart. I would say this whole reading is about heart and love, because look, these two are brought together and they're brought to make the 10 of pineapples. It's interesting, I have a very pineapple themed day. I have pineapple chapstick Very cute. Let's see if there's any other cards popping through. The Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Leaves. So there's two tens out here, and these are about completion, but it's about fruition. Lovely reading today. Very good energy. It kind of feels like the hard work that you're doing, just showing up vulnerable, because I feel like that's what this is about, vulnerability. And the Four of Wands, this is again about relationships and harmony. There's a lot of blessings here about harmony, family, relationships, connections. My readings as of late have been really, really positive, even though it feels like right now with the news cycles and everything going on, there can be so much negativity in the world, but it's like there's so much beauty here in this reading. Look how beautiful, like cute little king of pineapples, beautiful little queen of flowers. Look at that, so cute. Let's see if there's any other kind of final. Queen of Pineapples. So I feel like there's a lot of water and fire sign energy, and water is Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, and then fire is Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. So there is kind of a fire energy to this week, but there's also a mixture because we are in Libra season, but there's a ton of energy, a ton of planets. Mercury is in Scorpio, Mars is in Scorpio. So our mental prowess is in kind of this mode of reflection. I am in the United States right now. I'm in the state of Nevada. The Five of Wands can be about the arguments we have. It could be internal arguments as well. And I feel this card. The Seven of Cups, which is about the choices and decisions that we have to make. Usually it's multiple decisions at once when we're faced with something like the Seven of Cups and kind of facing a little bit of confusion. It kind of feels like the pinnacle of the reading were the first few cards, where it was like this idea that there's harmony, love, respect, gratitude, relationships. The Five of Cups is letting go of the past and the sorrows of the past, but understanding that they're in the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck. The Five of Cups is like focusing on your loss instead of the fact that there's actually two cups behind you. So there's like 3 cups in the front, 2 cups in the back that are completely full and not spilled over. So it's the idea that you have full love with you. And it might be that it's like love that gets you through. It could be even if it's like the harmony of the masculine and feminine from within. Does the USA really expensive for hospital? Yes. The United States healthcare system is very difficult to navigate, and it's quite expensive, especially if you do not have or you're under a specific type of insurance. Certain countries have like universal healthcare for many. But in the United States, it's not that way. There are programs like something called Medicare or Medicaid, and then there's a plethora of other different types of healthcare programs. But due to what's going on, there are funding cuts in many communities. I actually just saw a TikTok about rural Appalachia. I really am into like rural regional medical care access, so I definitely would recommend going on TikTok and kind of getting people's perspectives on that. Hello, nice to meet you. Is it McMahon? Nice to meet you. How are you doing? If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to ask. I'm pulling Lilo and Stitch playing cards as my tarot cards today. This is the King of Wands, This is related to fire signs, and it's about your courage and strength. Let me see what the courage energy means. This feels like somebody external to your life. Queen of Leaves. So she's very grounded. If you, again, this is like relationship readings here coming through. This feels like couple energy. This feels like people that really do get each other. There's a lot of overcoming obstacles. 10 of Pentacles, or 10 of Cups, which is 10 of Pineapples here. Yeah, again, the family energy is coming through again, and I just reshuffled the whole deck. Verdant Ask is da-na-na, per month, enough to get a good home and live in the United States. That's not really a question for the tarot deck, but it really depends on where you're moving, and you know, everybody's economic situation is different. So I want to acknowledge your question, but I also, you know, it really depends on the region you're moving to and all of the circumstances involved in that. However, I did pull the King of Cups, the King of Pineapples, which feels like this is a very helpful connection. So if people are having home, there's a lot of connections with home, family, relationships here. So if with your question, the collaborative efforts do pay off for anybody who's going into like collaborative businesses. The Ace of Cups, Ace of Pineapples. Yeah, there's a lot of like, if you put your heart into it, and it's decisions regarding love for your family, like there's no greater love than the love that you have for your people, you know? New beginnings, the Two of Wands. New beginnings that are meant to happen right now. And I know that this is YouTube, so I know that like I get pops and people and energy, so I feel like I'm pulling for the pops of people that are coming through. In New York or Washington, those are interesting markets for buying houses, you know, and you would definitely have to go buy. Let me just pull a card on that. So this is for you, New York. The Four of Swords. Rest on it. Take a really think it through. And here's for Washington. I feel 2 cards for Washington. The 10 of Pentacles, which is a good card. And the Jack of Wands, so this is like, or a page. Cards wise, it's pointing towards like Washington. But this is like, as you can see, it's not an easy card, so it's something where you have to learn. You have to learn kind of about the market itself, and it can be a little bit tricky to navigate, but the idea is there is a grounding energy here if it's collaborative. The 10 of Pentacles is family energy. Again, I'm pulling a lot of cards for family today. I would say Virginia. Try Virginia, which is outside of DC. Because the DC area is like a region. So not a lot of people are living in Washington, DC proper. Let me pull one more card for the collective. Another Jack. Pentacles. So this is like about maturity. It's not quite a king. This card kind of looks scary, but not quite a king. It's about taking your time and stacking your money. All right, one more card. The Four of Wands again. So this is a romantic reading in many ways. Romance, partnerships, marriages, decisions made within partnerships that are meant for long-term growth. I feel a lot of this has to do with decisions made in the month of December. And the structure that goes into this, the Eight of Cups. Having to leave something. And yesterday I was talking about the Eight of Cups as a card of faith. And it's a card where you're in the wilderness, but you're knowing you're going over the hill into a brighter space. So, all in all, I would say the theme of today's reading is decisions that we make with our loved ones that affect us in the long term. And knowing that the familial aspect, and say you're single and you're watching this, I feel like this is something where it's like you have to lean into the fact that there is, Ace of Swords. There's a new beginning on the way that you cannot see right now. Aces are always about new starts. Another ace, Ace of Wands, new creative sparks, finding your groove again, finding your force. I feel like your inner light. This is the Four of Pentacles and honing that energy. This is a really powerful reading. I would say Lilo and Stitch playing cards are really pulling through. I would say ultimately it's the energy of be grateful for those you have in your life that love you and you love back. And so thank you so much for watching today. I will be back tomorrow on YouTube doing a live stream. So thank you for supporting these videos and have a great day. Bye.